The teasers dropped. The fandom went silent. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down. When a former star leaves a picturesque island life, the whispers usually point to a glamorous comeback. But for Ji Yeon-soo, the headline, "I left Jeju for my mother," revealed a heartbreaking reality that left netizens speechless. Welcome to Starscope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
Yeah, and for today's deep dive, we're really pulling back the curtain on the kind of story that, it just doesn't make it into those glossy promotional packages.
Right. Definitely not.
We're moving way past that meticulously curated Hallyu Wave exterior to really examine the raw reality of life after the cameras stop rolling.
And that is exactly our mission today. We are unpacking the complex, deeply emotional, and honestly just inspiring updates surrounding former racing model Ji Yeon-soo and her highly publicized split from former U-KISS member Eli. Because if you only follow the trending hashtags or the comeback schedules, you are missing the profound human elements of this industry entirely.
Oh, absolutely.
This story is about what happens when the illusion of that idol lifestyle shatters, leaving a single mother to basically pick up all the pieces.
It's a total masterclass in resilience, truly. And the catalyst for this entire conversation is this video that took the Korean entertainment community by complete surprise.
Yeah, it really did.
She posted it directly to her YouTube channel, Yeon-soo.
Right, so imagine you just achieved the ultimate Korean dream, right? You've escaped the brutal, exhausting hustle of Seoul, and you've moved to Jeju Island.
Which is huge.
Exactly. In Korean culture, Jeju is basically synonymous with healing, peace, just escaping that relentless grind of city life.
Yeah, it's the ultimate getaway.
But then Ji Yeon-soo drops this video revealing she has abandoned that idyllic island life and moved right back to the chaos of Seoul.
And, in this industry, we're so conditioned to view a move like that through a very specific lens.
Oh, for sure.
When a former star relocates to Seoul after a hiatus, the immediate assumption is, oh, they're gearing up for a major comeback.
Right, like a new drama role or, I don't know, a lucrative variety show contract.
A brand endorsement, exactly. The whole PR machinery is spinning back up. But her reason had absolutely nothing to do with the entertainment industry.
Not at all.
She moved back because her mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she just needed to be physically closer to care for her.
She dropped everything. And in the process of explaining this, she gave viewers a tour of her new reality.
Yeah, that house tour.
She moved into this modest 15-payong duplex, which, for those listening, is roughly 50 square meters, or just over 500 square feet.
It's small.
Very small. And she lives there with her son, Min-soo. Watching the reaction to this house tour unfold was honestly a psychological study in itself.
The contrast between the domestic and international reactions is incredibly revealing about how differently audiences consume celebrity culture.
Definitely. Break that down for us.
So domestic Korean netizens, or K-nets, they deeply sympathized with her vulnerability. They saw a devoted daughter, and a hardworking single mother doing her absolute best in a really tight space.
Because they understand the reality of it.
Right. They understand the brutal economic reality of the Seoul housing market. But international fans, they were struck by something else entirely. They were just stunned by her palpable fear of judgment.
Yes. That was the part that made me actually pause the video. She was actively apologizing for the size of her home.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
She admitted she was embarrassed and genuinely worried that people would compare her small duplex to the luxurious, sprawling mega mansions of other celebrity YouTubers.
Right.
But she pushed through that fear on camera and proudly stated that children can thrive absolutely anywhere as long as they are surrounded by love and a clean environment.
It takes immense courage to bear your financial reality like that to an audience that expects perfection.
Absolutely.
Because the Hallyu wave is fundamentally built on selling an aspiration. The industry sells you this image of flawless skin, designer clothes, and unlimited wealth.
The ultimate visual.
Exactly. So when a star breaks that illusion and says, actually, I live in 50 square meters and I'm struggling, it forces the audience to reconcile that glittering image they bought into with the harsh, unglamorous reality of real life.
And I really want to push back on the fandom's toxic expectations here, because it is an impossible standard.
Oh, completely impossible.
Think about how fans obsessively analyze K-pop idols' dorms for signs of wealth. You know, the drill fans will literally freeze frame a live stream just to spot a designer couch in the background.
Or calculate the cost of some high-end tech sitting on a desk.
Right. They're constantly searching for proof that their bias is living a life of pure luxury. So why on earth do we expect former stars to maintain this flawless visual of luxury long after their hiatus becomes permanent?
Because I think the fandom often views these stars not as human beings with fluctuating financial situations, but as, like, permanent avatars of success.
And that makes sense.
Acknowledging their poverty or struggle feels like a failure of the fantasy for the fans.
It is the shattering of the celebrity illusion, plain and simple. But as tough as that house tour was to watch, and that's not even the wildest part of this story, wait until you hear the shocking betrayal regarding her apartment deposit that sent her into financial ruin.
Man, the financial backstory is arguably the most traumatic part of her entire journey.
It's rough.
To truly understand why she's living in a 50-square-meter duplex today, we really have to look back at the devastating timeline she revealed during her 2021 interview on the variety show Kang Oh-dong's Bapsim.
Yeah, I was digging into the timeline of that interview, and the facts are just infuriating. So they got married in 2014.
Right.
Eli was 11 years her junior, which already brought heavy scrutiny from netizens. Eventually, they moved to the U.S., ostensibly because they weren't getting much work in Korea and wanted to build a life out there.
Right, a fresh start.
But then, Ji Yeon-soo had to return to Korea alone just to fetch documentation for her green card.
And just one single day after she landed back in Korea, she gets a phone call from Eli notifying her of their divorce.
Over the phone. Just completely blindsided.
Yeah. And she had been enduring a highly difficult marriage specifically to protect their family unit for the sake of their child who was, still over in America at the time.
It was just a brutal emotional blow. But the financial ruin that followed is what truly anchored her to this current struggle. And the mechanics of this financial ruin actually stem from the Korean housing system itself.
Yeah, this part is crazy.
When they first got married, they signed a contract for an apartment in Korea under Eli's name.
Right. And to understand the gravity of this, you really have to understand the Korean Jeonse's housing system.
Please explain this, because it's wild.
So instead of paying monthly rent, tenants often pay a massive lump sum deposit, sometimes 50 to 80% of the property's total value.
Which is astronomical in Seoul.
Exactly. We are talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's essentially a family's entire life savings tied up in one single contract.
Exactly. So Eli's mother, who was living in Korea while he promoted as an idol, demanded that this massive apartment contract be put into her name instead.
Just demanded it out of nowhere.
Yes. She literally told Eli, if you change this house ownership to my name, I'll leave your wife alone.
It was pure emotional blackmail.
Completely.
So Eli changed the deed into his mother's name, and he didn't even tell his wife. Ji Yeon-soo only found out a month later.
Wow.
And then came the ultimate betrayal. Eli's mother took that massive Jeonse deposit money from the landlord and just left for America.
She just took the deposit and ran. That is unfathomable. It didn't just leave them scrambling for rent. It completely wiped out their life savings in one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world.
In an instant!
And to make matters even worse, Ji Yeon-soo mentioned that she had to take on the burden of most of their daily bills and debts because Eli was still spending money on supercars.
Yeah, while she was absorbing the financial shock of the stolen deposit and desperately trying to keep the family afloat, he was busy maintaining the idle lifestyle.
Driving around in supercars.
Yeah, but this completely destroyed her credit score. At the time of that 2021 interview, she stated it would take her 8.5 years just to recover her credit rating.
8.5 years. So fast forward to her current life back in Seoul. To survive and to put food on the table for Min-soo, she works part-time at a beef bone soup restaurant, a traditional Seolleongtang place.
Yeah.
And the vivid details she shared about this job are just so visceral. She works the brutal lunch rush, serving like 100 to 120 people a day.
Which is nonstop.
Oh, if you've ever been to a busy Seoul restaurant at lunchtime, you know it is a chaotic, physically punishing environment.
Absolutely.
She has to carry these heavy, traditional brass cauldrons and bowls. It has caused her so much severe wrist pain that she now requires physical therapy just to be able to show up for her next shift.
Which naturally brings up a highly emotional topic within the fandom right now, which is child support.
Oh, let's get into this.
The legal minimum for child support in South Korea is heavily structured based on income, but the minimum baseline is often cited around 640,000 Korean won a month. She currently receives 850,000 won.
Okay, let's put that into perspective for a second. 850,000 won is roughly 600 US dollars. In Seoul, raising a growing boy, paying for basic necessities, let alone any after-school tutoring or hagwons, that covers almost nothing.
It really doesn't. But this is where she revealed a profound psychological shift. Battling for more child support in the Korean legal system is this grueling multi-year process that just drains both money and emotional energy.
Which she doesn't have.
Right. She realized it was better for her mental health to just let it go. She chose to work harder herself, physically carrying those heavy brass bowls through the pain, rather than letting her life fall apart while constantly waiting and fighting for money that might never come.
Wow.
She made a conscious decision to protect her own peace.
Looking at her situation, it forces you to completely reevaluate the K-pop industry's financial mechanics. It's like a movie set.
How so?
You look at a glamorous mansion on a film set from the front, and it's perfect. But you walk around to the back, and you realize the entire structure is just propped up by cheap wooden beams, sandbags, and a crew working minimum wage to keep it from falling over.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
The illusion of idle wealth is exactly like that. The agency might lease the supercar for the music video, or the idol might buy it on massive credit to maintain their bias's image, but the crushing debt falls on the family. When you see an idol driving a supercar now, does this story permanently change how you view who is actually paying the price behind the scenes to finance that lifestyle?
Oh, it absolutely strips away the glamour. It reminds you that behind the trending hashtags, the million-dollar music videos, and the airport fashion, there are real families absorbing the massive financial and emotional deficits required to keep that movie set standing.
If you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope K-Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead, because this story takes another sharp, highly publicized turn regarding her ex-husband.
Yes, the narrative shifted again recently. On June 14th, 2026, the news officially broke that Eli had remarried a non-celebrity woman.
When that headline dropped, the entire internet was holding its breath. Netizens were waiting for Ji Yeon-soo to explode or, to post some cryptic, angry Instagram story.
Of course they were.
But her reaction was the definition of absolute grace.
It truly was a masterclass in emotional maturity. She publicly stated that she knew the remarriage was coming, even if she didn't know the exact date.
Right.
Her perspective was incredibly empathetic. She noted that he is still in his 30s, and as a human being, he deserves a new life.
But her absolute priority in that moment wasn't managing the public's perception of her. It was Min-soo. She was terrified about him going to school and hearing the news from other kids or from parents who recognize their family from TV. So instead of hiding it or letting him find out through the grapevine, she sat down and celebrated the news with him directly.
She proactively took control of the narrative to protect her son's emotional well-being, which is incredibly admirable, especially when you consider the absolute circus that Korean netizens were trying to spin up at the exact same time.
Oh my gosh, the fake news surrounding this was unreal. This is where the internet truly shows its darkest, most bizarre colors.
It really does.
Right as she is trying to navigate this sensitive family moment, a wild, completely manufactured rumor started spreading online, claiming that Ji Yeon-soo had also remarried.
And the details they invented were so specific.
Yes. They claimed she married a wealthy dentist who was 5 years her junior, and that they had a secret daughter together.
What's fascinating about this rumor is how it reflects society's deep-seated need for a competitive narrative. Because her ex-husband remarried, the rumor mill collectively decided that she needed to win the breakup. In their minds, the only way for a divorced woman to be successful is to bag a wealthy, younger professional. They couldn't accept that she was just finding peace on her own.
It is exactly like a Mac Jang drama script written by an AI. For those unfamiliar, makjang dramas are those over-the-top Korean soap operas famous for ridiculous, extreme plot twists, secret twins, sudden amnesia, wealthy heirs.
Right, just maximum drama.
The internet just threw in random dramatic tropes: a younger doctor, a secret child, strictly for clicks. Why does the internet refuse to let a single mother just live her life without forcing a fictional romance arc onto her?
Because quiet, steady peace doesn't generate ad revenue. Manufactured drama and fan wars do. But the way she clapped back at this rumor was brilliant.
Her response was just perfectly witty and exasperated. She literally went on record and said, "Please, just bring him to me. Who is this dentist?"
It's so good.
She firmly stated that she actively distances herself from these fake stories because her son is her #1 priority. She doesn't have the time or energy for imaginary dentists. She has a real son to raise.
Her ability to laugh it off while firmly shutting it down shows just how much healing she has achieved. She is no longer letting the chaotic noise of the internet dictate her reality.
Later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking plot twist regarding her son, Min-soo, that nobody saw coming, and how the maknae of the family is now calling all the shots.
That transition to focusing on Min-soo is really the heart of her current chapter. Her entire world revolves around him, and the results are showing.
They really are.
Despite all the upheaval, he's clearly thriving. Recently, Min-soo won a highly competitive encouragement award in a science imagination expression contest for his drawing and writing.
You can just hear the overwhelming pride in her voice when she talks about his achievements. But here is the ultimate plot twist that truly shocked the industry. After the explosive popularity of their appearance on the reality show We Got Divorced Too, you would assume they would ride that viral wave, right?
Absolutely. In the Korean entertainment ecosystem, when a family hits a viral nerve on a reality show, the offers come flooding in.
Flooding.
We are talking about CFs, those massive commercial endorsement deals that can change a family's financial trajectory overnight. Permanent cast positions, modeling gigs. And she admitted that she was indeed flooded with offers to put Min-soo on TV.
But she turned down the money. All of it.
It's incredible.
And we are talking about life-changing money for someone working at a soup restaurant. Why? Because Min-soo himself didn't give her permission.
Wow.
She said she had already done a broadcast without his explicit permission when he was much younger, and she refused to ever cross that line again unless he explicitly wanted to participate.
It is a radical, almost unheard of act of respecting a child's autonomy in an industry that routinely exploits celebrity children for ratings and brand deals.
Seriously.
But Min-soo's current stance on the matter is actually hilarious. He supports his mom's YouTube channel, but he refuses to appear on camera until she hits exactly 1 million subscribers.
The ultimate diva demand from the maknae. I love it. He's out here setting his own key performance indicators for his mother's channel.
Right.
And the funny thing is he actually has his own dreams of being a child actor or a movie star, though his mom jokingly says she would never let him enter the industry after everything she has seen.
Given the brutal reality of what she has survived in that world, you can completely understand her hesitation to let him near it.
Oh, completely.
Which brings us to her own remarkable reinvention.
Huh?
Driven by a deep desire to understand her child's heart, his psychology, and his needs, she has completely pivoted her career path away from the entertainment spotlight.
She is now a book implant instructor. And we aren't just talking about a casual weekend hobby.
No, she put in the work.
She put in serious academic work. She holds impressive credential certifications as a storytelling picture book instructor, a florist expert, an urban agriculture instructor, and a child art instructor. She is literally using nature and storytelling to educate and heal children.
If we pull back and look at the larger trajectory of her life, she went from being a racing model, judged entirely on her physical visuals, to an idol's wife, judged by a rabid fandom, to a reality star, judged by ruthless netizens.
It's a lot.
And now she has stepped out of that arena entirely to become an educator. She has reclaimed her identity.
I have to ask you, in a K-pop industry that is utterly obsessed with achieving the all-kill, sweeping every single music chart simultaneously, with going viral and with staying in the spotlight forever at any cost, isn't her transition to a quiet life, teaching children through nature, the ultimate successful comeback?
I think it is the most authentic comeback possible because she's no longer performing for an audience that demands perfection. She is building a sustainable, deeply meaningful life for herself and her son.
Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update. Because while the charts and the scandals are entertaining, these are the stories that truly matter.
Yeah, and as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought to mull over. In the high-stakes world of Korean entertainment, we are constantly conditioned to believe that the true measure of a star's strength is found in the screaming arenas, the perfectly synchronized choreography, or the trending hashtags.
Right.
But Ji Yeon-soo's journey challenges every single one of those metrics. Perhaps true strength is actually found in the quiet, unglamorous moments. It's found in the courage to reinvent yourself away from the intoxicating spotlight.
Exactly.
It's found in the fierce, uncompromising protection of your family's peace against the deafening roar of the internet. And sometimes, true strength looks like a mother with aching wrists carrying heavy brass bowls of reality long after the cameras finally turn off.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.